Hi, it's John Dalziel here again with the second blog for March 2011. It's the 12th this year. For those of you that we support here in the northwest of the UK or northwest of England who received an email asking for feedback about our service, please, if you haven't done so already, find the time to fill in the form before the 18th of March, highlighting the areas of support that you value. Continued provision of such support may depend upon your feedback. Let's go to the blog as usual. We're going to start today with nooCard. Let me just go in. Okay, nooCard. nooCard is probably the easiest mobile web page that users can create. All you have to do, he says, let me just zoom in so that you can actually see what I'm talking about, is to click the sign up button, which I've just put an arrow pointing to, and then create and publish the resulting nooCard URL publicly on the internet, and anybody with a mobile browser will then be able to instantly see the nooCard. Nothing to install at all. You can actually get it from the address above, but he says if I go on to the one that I've set up for myself, on the left hand side there you'll see a simulation of what it would be like on the mobile phone. You'll notice it's got a header that I've uploaded the header for. It tells you what size it's going to be. There are links to my website. He says, let's just highlight that at the top. That's the text at the top there that you can click on. You can go to the blog that I'm making this vidcast for on your phone. There is the mobile YouTube channel that I have, and there are the tweets about things that I find or notifications about things that may be of interest to you. This section down here allows you to actually do updates constantly, so you can go in and update this. Currently, let me just escape and zoom in so that you can actually see it. Currently it says if you missed the March in Touch live TV broadcast, you can watch the recording at, and then the address that you can go to watch the recording that we did on Monday. There's also a QR code that people can actually share the link to this nooCard, and there's my contact details as well. So all of that very simply from nooCard, something that you may as a learning provider and or as an individual want to use. There is also a video embedded on the page. It's on YouTube and it goes through stage by stage. I'll click on it while I'm talking. He says it goes through stage by stage without any audio, how to set it all up so you can go through stage by stage. You'll notice it's working on a Mac here, so it'll work on both. Okay, I'm just going to escape from that and stop it. The next find, Connect Safely. Let's just go on to the Connect Safely website. Safeguarding is obviously high on the agenda of a lot of people, and Connect Safely is a good website for looking for some resources. I suppose we've got to accept the fact that not all teams have the same level of maturity, and the Connect Safely chart shows recommendations for most teams. The chart could be reviewed with learners to help them make informed decisions in setting the right privacy settings for them. The chart itself, if we go down, it actually goes through a number of things. Let me just zoom in again so that you can see it in more detail. I mean, so the contents there, you know, edit profile settings, basic privacy settings, things others share, etc. And if I scroll down the page, I'll have to zoom out for that, you'll see that there are under the profile settings, let's get most of them in view, and then I'll zoom in so that you can read it a little bit better. You know, putting in your hometown in general is okay. things that you're interested in, it advises that you leave blank, or think about whether the interests you type really reflect positively on you. Remembering, of course, that a lot of learning providers now at university level are looking on the internet to see if there's anything about you when you apply. The looking for suggestion, it's advised that you leave blank political views, religious views, and so on. And it goes through the different levels that you may be interested. The contact information profile, let's just scroll up for that. Again, I'll zoom in so you can read it a little bit better. Email's generally okay, but make it available to friends only, and so on. It's very good common sense. For those of you who want more safety and privacy for teens, they've produced a booklet which is the Parent's Guide to Facebook. I've included it way back in 2010 in the e-magazine, but the link at the top of the page will actually take you to the PDF, or you can download it. But it is, again, an excellent resource. It goes through what is Facebook, what do people do, what do young people use, etc. How to optimize the settings for young people, so we're not just talking about teens there. And as I say, I think that a lot of parents would find that very useful. Okay, Sensory World next. I'm going on to Fitzroy, Elizabeth Fitzroy Support. The Elizabeth Fitzroy Support, the link to the website that I'm on at the moment, is a national charity providing practical, tailored support for adults with learning and physical disabilities. Their aim is to allow the people that they support to live the lives that they choose, to make their own decisions, and to enjoy a full and independent life. Many of the people supported are interested in ICT and using the internet. The aim of the Sensory World, which is the find that I want to talk about, and we'll go on to that. The aim of the Sensory World is to create an interactive place for learning that's fun, stimulating, relevant, appropriate, and responsive. And in order to provide a familiar framework, Sensory World is based on a house and garden, where the visitors, the learners, can explore different rooms and experiences on their own and or with others. The guide, which I've gone to here, and the address has been at the top of the page, goes through nice and simply how to actually access it, where the mouse is needed, how you can go into different rooms, and so on, and choosing the different elements that you may want to look at. So that's a very simple guide, okay, stage by stage. I'm not going to spend any more time on that. If you go into Sensory World, I've gone into it now, and click on Enter.
Click on the door and come inside.
Okay, it gives you an introduction. There's an About Sensory World that I've just moved the mouse over, but if I just zoom in on this, you'll see that when the mouse goes over, there is a highlight comes up that, let me just, there you go. That, clicking on the door will take you into the house, and here, clicking on the gate will take you into the garden. Let's just zoom back out again. If I go into the garden, just giving you an overview more than anything else, here we go. You can log in, it will keep track of what you're doing and or register, but you can just enter as a guest. And for many people that may be well...
Welcome to the Sensory Garden. Learn about what to do in the garden.
Okay.
Explore the sensory garden. Explore the sensory garden. Learn about what to do in the garden.
Okay, as you can see, there is audio on each of those links. So if we just go into Explore...
Autumn. Explore the sensory garden.
Spring.
Choose a season. Summer. Winter. Autumn.
Well, we're in spring, so we'll go into spring.
Spring.
And
Explore
again,
the sensory garden.
Again, you can move around, and each time you go over an area in the garden that has some information, you'll hear the sound that you can hear at the moment. Okay, and if you click on it,
Smell the fragrance of the flowers. Can you hear the bumblebee?
Again, you'll notice that the words in red are hyperlinks, so can you hear the bumblebee?
Smell the fragrance of the flowers.
Smell the flowers, an important
Can you hear
word.
the bumblebee?
If you click on smell, click on hear. Okay, those are the alternative symbols that you could use. Okay, just click again and close it, he says. Just click on the bird.
Do you see the birds on the feeder?
Okay, the word see linked with the image. Okay, to see.
See and smell the cherry tree blossom.
Again, the same symbol, seeing, smelling. I'm not going to waste any more, well, I say waste, I'm not going to spend any longer going through it. It is a nice interactive resource. If you go back to the hallway, you're inside the house again. Let's just take the kitchen, for example, and once you're in the kitchen,
click one of the buttons.
so you've got health and safety, hygiene and nutrition. Okay, let's go back out into the hall. Got the music room, the orchestra, a band. Okay, again, I think there's a lot to offer there. Note that although these have been produced for adults with learning and physical disabilities, from my experience, the resources are also ideal for those engaged with family learning. The Whiteboard Blog next, it's supporting technology in the classroom. It's been produced, let's go on to it, it's been produced by Danny Nicholson, who's a freelance education consultant and PGCE science lecturer. He basically informs us that his speciality is about the use of interactive whiteboards, but is also interested in lots of different bits of technology that are now being used in the learning environment. Interactive whiteboards are popular with learning providers because they're a big symbol of technology. Unfortunately, they're often installed without providing a budget to teach users how to use them effectively. And that's where Danny Nicholson's Whiteboard Blog comes into the rescue. Here you will actually find dozens of video tutorials and printable help sheets, both to help those wanting to learn how to use an interactive whiteboard and to develop lessons. The link is at the top of the page, but let's just show you. There are some guides there and interactive whiteboard files there that you may well find of use. So clicking on those, let's just go into the guides. Okay, and let's just zoom in so that you can see. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Helps if I hit the right buttons. Okay. Training videos for using interactive whiteboards. There's making a rub and reveal activity, plenary circle, etc. Magic pen, table tools, themes, cloning, and it just goes on. I think there's quite a lot there. There's Promethean as well as smartboards covered, and there's some other emerging technologies at the bottom. Let's just zoom in on those for you. Wiki guide, WordPress blogs, Web 2 tools in the classroom, etc. A useful site for continued professional development, which is available 24/7 at a time that is sensible for you and to enable you to perhaps use those whiteboards more effectively. Next find, ookaboo. Why is it that Web 2 have to have such weird names? Perhaps to help us to remember them. Ookaboo is free pictures of, according to them, everything on Earth. They're free under public domain or Creative Commons and can be used on websites and for coursework and other creative projects. It's also an intelligent image search engine that uses Semantic Web API to categorize your results. You can browse topics that have been searched recently, and you can browse them that are the most popular. The nice thing is, I suppose, you can get 4 different sizes of images. I'm just going to click on one randomly. I think it's banana, and it probably won't be that wonderful. There you go. So we've got a number of banana pictures here that may or may not be useful. Okay, for any of those, let's just take that one. When you click on it, you've got the choice. Let me just zoom in so that you can see. You've got the choice here of small, medium, large, or the original size that you can use. Just escape. It's on medium at the moment. If you click, I'm just going to go down to the bottom here and again zoom in so you can see. I just want to get it all in. Right. There is the legal aspect, which obviously is very important. I'll just highlight that. There is an HTML code that you can embed the image into your project, whatever you're going to use it for, and there is BB code available as well. To use this image for this particular one, you must make it available under a share alike license and give credit to the photographer. Okay, if you satisfy those 2 conditions, you can use it commercially and or modify it. The HTML code is an easy way to give the correct attribution for the photograph, and I would advise that you use the HTML code every time, and that way you're going to meet the legal requirements. So all you need to do is to actually copy that, Control-C, paste it into a website, and the correct attribution and everything will be there. It will be a medium-sized picture, and it will look like that with the license and everything with it. Okay, there is a lot on the website, huge number of images available on all sorts of things. I'm not going to go through it. You're quite capable of looking at that yourself. Next, I want to just flag up the fact that Skype is being increasingly used by learning providers. It is free for most purposes that learning providers and practitioners can use to connect to stakeholders across a town, city, region, country, across the world. It's not surprising, I suppose, therefore, that the increasing number of learning providers are using Skype for learner-employer stakeholder voice, remote assessments, things like job knowledge questions and interviews, ITQ, and other ICT observations, and much, much more. The delivery of course elements to learners based over a large area is another use. If you're about to or are currently using Skype for educational purposes, really all I want to do is to make you aware that they're going to start inserting advertising into the Home tab in the Skype windows. There's an article here that you can read the full announcement of actually what they are going to do, including an example of the sort of adverts that they're going to put there. To be fair, I always felt that Skype could make this move at some time, as like the rest of us, they've got bills to pay, and raising revenue in this way has got to be better for education sector than moving to a completely fee-based model, which will probably put it out of the reach of many of us. That in mind, let's go back. The final find sort of builds on that, I suppose. I'm just going to go to it here. Skype allows the usage linked in with these adverts of non-personal identifiable information about you when servicing third-party ads. Now, if you are, as a learning provider and or an individual, not comfortable due to privacy concerns, you can change the default settings to disallow that. And I'll just scroll down a little bit, he says, and then I'll zoom in so I can run through it. Here we go. Basically, you open the Skype application, You go to the menu at the top and click Skype and select Privacy. And then in the right pane of the dialog that appears, go to the bottom, and as you'll see at the bottom of the screen now, you just basically uncheck the allow Skype to use non-personal identifiable information about me when serving third-party ads. Just take the tick out of that checkbox. There should not be a tick in there. Okay. The other thing is that for added privacy, also notice there was a tick in the previous one, but also take the tick out of accept Skype browser cookies. It does allow you to learn more about what they do, but if you want added privacy, also uncheck that. And that basically is all for today. Hopefully there was something there for all of you. If there wasn't, hopefully there will be next time, and that won't be too long. I apologise for the vidcast arriving a little bit late. We've been to the JISC conference in Liverpool. For those of you who attended, I hope you found it a useful conference. We'll talk to you again soon with 7 more finds, which hopefully will enhance current practice or allow you to do some things that currently you cannot.